I haven't eaten in 2 fucking days. I think I'm gonna fucking die. My body's gone into fucking starvation mode. I feel like a bag of shit. You're gonna deplete all of your fucking minerals and vitamins in 2 fucking days. The whole world's gonna come to an end. And Trump's gonna become president if you don't fucking eat every day. Wait a minute. He is president. Alright, listen here. Sometimes, people who are losing weight often go to huge extremes. I mean, we're talking, I've seen one guy, because I do a lot of research on the subject, and a lot of the time when I'm watching these fucking videos and these reading these blogs of people, I'm just like shaking my head because I know that there's an easier way now, and not only to lose the weight, but to maintain most of it. You're not going to maintain all of it. There's going to be fluctuations. You're going to go up and down. But people tend to approach these things in an extreme way. And one of the extreme ways can be applied to fasting. Now, I'm intrigued by long water fasts for healing purposes, for correcting issues, for getting your body completely reset, to really just kind of giving you a check yourself before you wreck yourself motherfucking moment in life. But do I think you should do a 30-day water fast for purely because you're fat? That's extreme. I don't think you really need to put yourself through that. Do I think it can be done, and do I think is it going to hurt you in the long term? No, absolutely not. Do I think that if you're willing to go to that extreme, you very often will go to the other extreme of, oh, I can eat now, so I'm going to eat every fucking thing I see. So that's, a lot of people that do these long fasts, they regain every last fucking pound. And it's kind of getting aside from the fact that it's not something that you can sustain in the long term. You can't continuously do 30-day fasts. You're gonna fucking really, really deplete yourself. The reason intermittent fasting works better than these long 30-day water fasts, in my opinion, is it keeps your body full of nutrition. There is, vitamins and fucking minerals, and no, I don't believe in goddamn supplements. I still don't believe in them, but that's a topic for another day. But your body does store micronutrients. It stores it in your bones. It stores it in your fat. It stores it in your blood. It stores it in your goddamn shit that's sticking in your fucking belly. There's nutrition in there. You have a whole gut fucking microbiota community that is storing that shit. And when you're not eating for long periods of time, your body goes and finds all of that shit and uses it. Now, there are some things that you need dietarily, like from branched chain amino acids and that kind of stuff. But it turns out your body just goes and picks off all your dead cells and all your bad fucking damaged tissue and all the shit that's in your body constantly that we never allow our bodies to get rid of. And it just breaks that shit down and recycles it and keeps using it. And that's why people can fast for incredibly long periods of time with minimal supplementation. In fact, I don't recommend for long fasts any, multivitamins or anything like that, unless you are, malnourished to begin with, obviously. But it stands to reason that somebody that's or morbidly obese they're not hurting for nutrition. There are probably plenty of fucking vitamins and minerals in their body. But each person's different. Talk to your doctor. Get your blood work done. See what the fuck you might already be deficient in, and keep that in mind before you attempt a longer fast. Now, getting into that, I'm currently, as I make this video, I am currently 51 hours fasted. I got a little pissed off over the holidays that I undid my 1 pound a week weight loss that I was chugging along on, and I was like, God damn it, I gotta fucking fix this. This is bullshit, not gonna fucking do it. So I'm starting to be a little more aggressive with my fast. Now, this isn't necessary for somebody just starting out. You should never, ever attempt a longer fast, longer than 48 to 72 hours. I wouldn't even go 48 hours or 36 hours until you're fucking a pro at 23-hour fast, 24-hour fast. And once you got that shit down and you could literally do a 23-hour fast every day with no problems whatsoever, you're not craving shit all day, you're not hungry all day, to where you literally have trained yourself to the point where you don't get hungry till the 23-hour mark, that's when you can start thinking about going longer. But don't go longer until you need to, all right? If you're losing weight, if you are showing results with a 23-hour daily fast, then just do that. Don't step it up a notch until you have to. That's one of the ways I have lost the weight I have, is I don't really change it if it ain't fucking broken. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you were going 23 hours a day, you don't need to do fucking 36s. If you plateau at 23, then yes, step it up to 36, because you're obviously taking in enough shit, or you're not burning off your glycogen quick enough to get to your fat, to where, yeah, you need to fucking step it up a notch. And it's different for everyone. Everyone has different lifestyles, different levels of physical activity that have different energy requirements throughout, your days. And if you are overweight, that means you got metabolic damage, probably from the foods you've been eating or the lack thereof of exercise or whatever. There's all kinds of factors that go into this. So a lot of you see me do these 72-hour hauls or 36-hour ADF or 5-day fasts is the longest I've gone, and you're like, I'll do it too. I need to do it too. And meanwhile, this is like your first fucking time. And you're going to find it, while you may have the willpower to plow through one of those fasts in the beginning, and it's not going to kill you, it's just going to really fucking suck. And you're not going to feel good during a longer fast if you haven't prepared yourself. I've consistently advised people that are interested in fasting for longer periods of time to work your way up to it. It's the same as if you're if you're an endurance runner, then you're not gonna fucking go run a 10K or a full marathon when you're fucking haven't run in 10 years. That's not how it works. You build up to it. You train for it. It's the same with fasting. Train for it. Get your body back. I mean, we grew up and spent all these years eating fucking 3, 6, 10, 15, 20 meals a fucking day, eating from the moment we wake up to the time we fucking go to bed, and you suddenly want to change to not eating for 14 days or 30 days or whatever, you're gonna fucking crash and burn, you're gonna feel like shit, you're gonna be nauseous, you're gonna have all kinds of fucking issues. And I don't think it's necessary. I myself am going to eventually do a 30-day fast, but I'm not ready yet. I don't think I am. Because I know at the 5-day mark, I was feeling like shit, like general shit. And my advice for fasting is when it becomes that level of suffering, you end that fast. Reset, give yourself some time to recover, and then try again. and just keep trying. And you'll just gradually be able to fast for longer periods of time. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna do things like with the artificial sweetener thing that I just went over in the previous video. You're gonna do things that'll set you back here and there, and that will make your fasts more difficult. You just gotta fucking figure out what it is. But bottom line, going back to the roots: water, black coffee, or tea with no sweetener, no fat in it, no butter, none of that, and just trying to do those fasts and pushing them out as long as you can go. Obviously, what you eat will influence how easy or difficult a fast is. I eat a lot of shit. I like processed foods. I like sugar. I like cookies. I like cake. I like bread. I like pasta. I love fucking pasta. I could kill some fucking pasta right now. But I know that I can't eat that constantly without paying for it by fasting, because you're taking all this food, you're putting it in your fucking ass, you're putting it in your glycogen, and you're never touching it again if you eat that way constantly, on a constant basis. It's the whole principle of fasting. We keep putting shit in our refrigerator, but we never take anything out. And eventually you'll need a bigger fucking refrigerator. And some of you are walking around as big, huge goddamn refrigerators wondering why. And it's because you're constantly refilling everything. You need to give your body access to your fat, and you're not going to do it in 24 hours. You give a little bit of access. It can reach a little bit. You can take like an ice cube out of your freezer. So you look at the fucking refrigerator as your glycogen, and your fat as your freezer. That's not mine. I got that from Jason Fung, who has a great book, The Complete Guide to Fasting, which I've read and recommend to anybody that wants to become an intermittent faster or a faster, period. That's a great book that gives you pretty much all, it doesn't beat around the bush. It tells you some sciencey shit, but it generally gives you all the tools you need to fast. So you got to look at it that way. When you don't need to do 14 days, you don't even need to do 7 days. Do as much as necessary. You know how much the needle's gonna move. Let's get down to the fucking brass tacks on fasting. 48 to 72 hours if you're not a gym rat to deplete your glycogen. If you're a gym rat, you can probably deplete your glycogen in 24 hours. That's all your liver and a lot of your muscles. You got to do a lot of goddamn training to deplete your muscle glycogen. Generally, it takes 48 to 72 hours before your muscles become glycogen depleted. Then 24 to 36 hours for your liver to become glycogen depleted. When that happens, your body flips a switch. It says, hey, I'm gonna get into my fat ass because I got no fucking carbs, no food coming in, no sugar is coming into my ass, no protein to convert to sugars coming into my ass. I need to fucking start eating my reserves. I need to get into the fucking freezer and take me out some steaks, some fucking cookies, some shit, and start fucking piling. And that's what your body does at the 48 to 72 hour mark. It's a gradual process. It's not instant, but generally you'll know that it's happening if you have to piss a lot, because your body starts dumping salt, and between the that and your glycogen being used up, you are producing lots of excess water with which to piss out. You are going to be peeing a lot by the 72 hour mark. You're going to be pissing like no tomorrow. I'm pissing a little more than average at my 51, well, I think it's 52 hours now. And I know I'm not completely depleted yet, because I know I will be pissing like a fucking racehorse tomorrow, because I plan on pushing this fast. The reason I'm doing longer fasts is because 23 hours has become ineffective. 36s I don't feel are appropriate because it's like you're going to deplete all your fucking glycogen by 36 hours, or a lot of it, only to restart refilling it and then doing it all over again. It seems kind of self-defeating for me. And if I think about it logically, I really want to spend a significant period of time accessing my fat once I get access to it. And since I know I don't get complete unfettered access to my fat for probably about 48 hours, about the time period where I really feel I'm in ketosis. And as I've tested in the past, it's about the period of time when you're burning ketones about equally to glucose at that point, in my opinion. And 72 is when you go into full on fucking fat burning mode. So I kind of want to maximize my time in that little window there, which requires me to fast for anywhere from 48 to 72 to 4 days, 5 days, however long I can comfortably go. I'm currently comfortable. I'm going to make 72. Definitely. No problem there. You know, since I got rid of this artificial sweetener and I'm doing the black coffee thing, I am good for 72 on this one. And I've moved the needle. I went up to fucking 216 pounds from New Year's, and this morning I weighed in at 211. Now, before you come all over yourself, keep in mind that's mostly water weight. And that's what you got to take into account. For me, at 51 hours and being a heavily experienced intermittent faster, I got hungry yesterday around 36 hours. I didn't even get hungry at the 23-hour mark, and I think that's related to the time of day that I last had my meal. There's a circadian rhythm to your ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone that makes you want to eat, and you're more likely to be hungry in later stages in the evening than you are in the morning. If you ever notice, you wake up, for most people, you wake up and you're not even fucking hungry. So why the hell eat? It's not that hard. It's more of a mental game than anything else, because life is throwing all this food at you. People are wanting to eat with you. People are wondering why you're not eating it. Some people are panicking and getting worried that you're fucking got an eating disorder or some shit. They're all just, you got to keep in mind, they're still under that old philosophy of I got to eat 6 meals a day, which isn't that old of a philosophy. We used to eat 3 meals a day. You used to not snack. You used to not be allowed to snack. You try and grab a snack and your fucking mother would punch you in the face and say, no, you're going to spoil your fucking dinner. That's, we don't do that anymore. Now we got to have a fucking snack wherever we go. We got a snack. We got to have goddamn snack bars and candy bars and goddamn fucking 700 calorie goddamn fucking coffees. We don't need all of that. We don't. And the moment you start transitioning into these longer fasting periods, you're going to be tempted. You're going to be tempted to push it to 30 or 40 days. And if you're doing it for other reasons other than weight loss, in my opinion, doing a 30-day fast for weight loss is every bit as bad as going in the gym and running for fucking 20 hours to burn through the weight quicker. Don't be in a hurry, all right? Train yourself. And the more gradually you lose weight, the more gradually it will want to come back. If you lose a shit ton of weight very quickly, you're going to gain a shit ton of weight very quickly. You'll regain it. And that does apply to fasting. I know a lot of people say, well, you do fasting and you get to keep the weight off. Even the guy that fasted over 360 something days kept the weight off. How did he do that? You got to ask. They didn't really get into that. They didn't tell you what kind of lifestyle he's been leading. Has he continued fasting intermittently? When he sees the scale going up, does he do a fast to knock it back down? And that's kind of the approach you need to do with an intermittent fasting lifestyle. When you see the weight coming back, and you will in a lot of cases, or you see it creeping up, give yourself a good 10, 15 pound threshold that when you start getting near that threshold, it's time to buckle down and increase your fasting times. But you want to fast every day. You do not want to get back in the habit of eating 3 squares a day or 6 meals a day or any of that, because it's just not what we're designed for. I do not believe in the longer water fasts. You don't need to do them. If you're like me and you love sugar, you love a lot of processed foods and white breads and things that are fucking bad for you. They're bad for you. There's no getting around that. Sugar and heavily processed, refined carbohydrates are why we are fat. Plain and simple. That is what made you fat. And we love them. They're addicted. They're heavily marketed. They're shoved down your throat no matter where you go. It's, very cheap to eat that way. There's all kinds of reasons that we eat that shit. But we gotta wake up to the fact that we are as fucked up as we are because we've been eating that way in excess. We've been eating that shit too much, too often, and we need to give ourselves breaks if you're gonna eat that shit. Now, there are plenty of people out there to tell you, oh, you just gotta eat whole foods, you gotta fucking come off of that shit, you gotta eat healthy and blah, 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 blah. It sucks. Alright, let's face it. Let's tell you the truth. I don't like just eating salad all the time. I like a fucking pizza. I like a goddamn cheeseburger with the goddamn bun. I like a goddamn slice of pumpkin pie or a motherfucking cookie. I like the occasional donut or the mother of all donuts, the goddamn cinnamon bun. Those things fucking kill me. I like eating that shit. I can't give it up. I've tried. I've done it. I went ketogenic for 6 weeks. And I missed. Even though I wasn't as addicted later on in the ketogenic diet, I still wanted those things, and they were still offered to me regularly, and I couldn't say no anymore. And then I went back on the road, and that's pretty much all I had to choose from. If I wanted to eat keto, I had to eat fucking shitty-ass processed fucking fast food beef with some cheese and throw it on top of a nutrient-devoid salad with no dressing because they sneak sugar into the fucking dressings. So I'm in an environment where most of the food is processed and a lot of it has sugar and carbs and refined carbs. So I have to adapt to that environment, and my way of doing it is through fasting. So, to summarize, should you do a longer fast? Only if you have to. That's it. Only if you fucking have to. For weight loss, only if you have to. Do as much fasting as is necessary to continue your progress. And then when you get to where you're going, ease up. Do maintenance fasting. That's it. And for me, I know maintenance fasting is 1 meal a day. And that's probably where I have to eat the rest of my life. If I overdo it on a day, here and there, that's fine. But I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to have to fucking do longer fasts to get back down. And it requires keeping an eye on it. You can't just, you can let it all go, but I guarantee you, in a couple months, you'll start to be like fat again. You'll start to be like, oh shit, I'm gaining all the weight back. And if you want to maintain your weight loss, you have to maintain your weight loss. You have to spend the time, go on the scales, see the trends, see your measurements, pants and shirt getting tighter. Guess what? Time to crack down on fasting. And that's where I'm at right now. I regained a little bit of my weight, and I'm now taking it back off because I don't want to go all the way back up. Now, it could be easy. You could just fucking kick back and go all the way up to regain all the weight back and then start all over from scratch. I don't want to do that. I really don't. When I see that I'm creeping, when I see that it's going back up, I'm going to stop it. I'm going to nip that shit in the bud. Because it's easier to nip it in the bud now than to let it go and start all over again. Because guess what? I'd have to readapt to fasting. It would take up to a month or 2 months just to get used to 23s again. And in the meantime, it's probably more difficult the second go around. Because your body's ready for it. Your body's like, oh, I remember that. Yeah, I'm keeping that shit. I'm keeping your fat on you. So don't let yourself go. Will I do longer fasts? Yes, I probably will. I probably will try a 7-day fast just to see what happens, to see the results. I might try a 30-day fast at some point. Right now, what I'm doing is trying to move the needle and doing as much fasting as necessary to make that happen. For me, being experienced with fasting, I can knock out a 48, I can knock out 36s, I can even knock out 72s. And that's what I'm doing. I'm pushing the dial. Ooh. Water. Also, being fasted 51 hours, just want to let you know that I feel great. I'm high energy. I did have 2 hunger pangs during this particular fast, and I anticipate having another one before I go to bed tonight, and probably one around noon or 1 tomorrow when I hit the 72-hour mark. I haven't decided when to break this current fast. I am pushing through. I'm keeping an eye on the scale. I think I might break it. And that's the other thing with fasts. People want to say, oh, I'm going to set this goal and try and achieve it. I'm going to fast for 30 days. I'm going to fast for 14 days. That's not really how we're designed to fast. We fasted involuntarily in that's what our ancestors did. They would hunt for 2 or 3 days because they didn't find any food. And then they'd eat the shit out of that food because they didn't have refrigerators or supermarkets. And that's what we have to keep in mind, that's what we're designed to do. So, will I eat at 72 hours? Am I going to sit there and be like, oh, it's 72 hours, I can eat? No. I will start eating probably when I feel like shit. When I just can't fucking take it no more. That's when you got to start eating. When your body's screaming. When you're fucking just feeling like you can't go any further. When you feel like crap. When you're lethargic. When you're tired. When you're dizzy. When you're fucking getting weird pains and cramps. When you're shitting yourself. When all of these things are happening, that's when it's time to stop the fast. It's that simple. It really is. Stop when your body tells you to. Or when you get to a milestone of weight that you find acceptable. All right? When you are losing more weight than you are regaining when you're eating. That is how you lose weight. It's a simple numbers game at that point. So, I know on the weekends I've been going nuts. So, during the week, I need to crack down. I need to fucking settle down. All of my social shit's been happening on the weekends. I've been overdoing it all the time. So if I want to lose weight, I know how not to gain weight, and I've been doing that. But if I want to lose weight, if I want to lose that 10 pounds that I regained when I started going to processed foods again, then I need to notch it. I need to fucking step up the fasting during the week when no one's really bothering me to eat. That's the great thing about my job is I don't have to eat. I really don't. It's actually, I make more money and spend less money during the week if I don't eat. If all I'm doing is drinking water and black coffee for as much of the week as I can, then it really doesn't matter what I do on the weekends. It really doesn't. I can eat whatever the fuck I want this weekend. Because I'll have fasted for over 72 hours. I might even push it deep into Saturday. I don't know. I'll keep you posted on that. I'll give you my results. So before you run off and you starve yourself for 30 days and feel miserable while all of your loved ones are worried to death and are ready to take you to the fucking loony bin because they think you're an anorexic, Just keep that in mind, okay? You don't need to do that. Fast as much as you need to move slowly forward. And if you're constantly setting yourself back on the weekends, then crack down during the week. Increase your fasting times gradually until you see your progress. If you stall, notch it up some. If you're losing weight too quickly, rein it in a little. It's a balancing act. It really is. And just keep those numbers in mind. Keep the glycogen depletion numbers in mind. Your liver is empty around 24 to 36 hours. Your muscles are empty between 48 and 72 hours. And then you are empty of glycogen. And you're not going to like it. Especially if you're not heavily experienced with fasting. You're not going to feel good when you get to that 72-hour mark. That's the hardest time of fasting, widely reported by people that do the longer fasts, that the first 3 days are the bitch of the bunch. Jason Fung's book says that several times in it. The first 2 to 3 days are the bitch of the bunch, and that's where we've been living when we do our intermittent fasting. But doing those initial fasts and knocking out that glycogen. And you can do it quicker if you're a gym rat, so keep that in mind. If you're exercising, you can probably do it in about half the time, depending on the intensity of the exercise. So, but I don't recommend that because you're fucking with your balance. You're more likely to panic your body if you're constantly depleting energy at a high rate because it's responsive to that. It's sensitive to that. Your body knows when you're burning 3,000 calories in a day, and it will try and compensate by slowing things down. So how much activity you do is very important to how much your body will want to rebound. So if you're busting your ass in the gym, I think you're going to have a harder time fasting. I really do. It's going to make you hungrier, and the weight regains are going to be crazy. Whereas if you're taking it easy, which you should, yes, you need to not sit on your ass on the couch, but at the same time, you don't need to run marathons or lift weights like crazy unless bodybuilding's your thing, which is a whole separate topic. I'm not here to teach you how to be muscular. I'm here to teach you how to burn fat. And I'm here to teach you how to burn fat in a way that is easier. And a lot of people say, well, fasting isn't easy, or if I can't not eat. Well, yeah, you can. It's really the easiest fucking thing. It doesn't require any effort. It is purely willpower. It really requires no money. It requires no time. It requires nothing. Keep that in mind. It requires no cost. There's no cost to fasting. None. It's easy, simple, and I've saved probably in the neighborhood of $40 to $60 this week just by doing this fast. That's a period of time that I didn't spend any money on food. I didn't spend any money on a gym. I didn't spend any money on any of that. So not only am I losing my weight, but I'm saving money. And I'm of the belief that most people eat twice as much as they actually require to survive. And it shows. Now, that's not all people. I'm not painting with a big blanket brush there. I'm talking about the people that are walking around carrying a lot of extra fat. You're overdoing it. And you're overdoing it on carbs and sugar, most likely, in that scenario. So you got to start balancing it, taking it off, like I did. I still got fat. I'm plenty fat. I am still overweight. I have skinny arms. See how skinny that is? I've got a skinny face, underneath this beard, skinny neck. My legs and my ass, skinny as fuck. No problems there. But around my liver, it's a fucking disaster. And that's what I'm targeting. And that is the hardest fat to target. So it requires a little bit of extra oomph in the fasting department. But I've already gone way too fucking long in this video. I just wanted to give you my thoughts on longer fasts. Please like, subscribe, and, I'll keep making fasting videos. I know I do a lot of other videos now. I'm starting to branch out, but I haven't forgotten that the core of my channel has been fasting and weight loss, and I will continue to do videos on that subject. So if you came here for fasting only, just you don't got to watch the other videos if you don't want it. Just watch the ones that you're interested in when it comes to fasting. And I'll keep making them. But only if you keep liking them, subscribing them, and watching them. That's it. Because I don't want to waste my time if no one's going to watch my shit. It's really that simple. Time's a limited commodity for me. And if people aren't watching the videos, then I'll stop making them. That's really that mathematical. But remember, I'm not a fucking expert. I'm just a goddamn asshole. Have a nice fucking day.